So what, Spirit says? So what? So what, Spirit says? Where is the divine universe, Mother Earth, Spirit going with that tonight? Well, we are so overwhelmed. We are so consumed. We are so under attack by the opinions, by the hearsays, by the what he says and she says, by what your mama and your daddy and your husband and your wife and even your children say, believe, and think about you. You're so consumed over what your boss feels about you. You're so consumed by what your next door neighbor says about you in your community. You're so consumed by what your god siblings or godparents or, say about you in your spiritual / religious house. You're so consumed by what your pastor says about you at your church and what other people of your congregation says about you. You're so consumed over what your peers and your classmates says about you. You're so consumed about what everyone else thinks and believe and say about you that you don't even have enough space. You don't even have enough room. You don't even have enough time within you to really focus on what you believe about yourself, on the things that you should be saying about yourself, about the things that you should be thinking about yourself. We're so consumed by the external that we've made no room to be inside of us. You've been so consumed about having someone else inside of you that you have not had enough time for you to be inside your own self. Yes, I said what I said. I said what I said. You're so consumed about your ex. You're so consumed about that person that you think that you are in love with. You're so consumed about everyone else that you have not made enough time to truly be inside of you. We're going to talk about some things tonight. We're going to talk about some things tonight because there are other people that have been more inside of you in every way, shape, or form, okay, than you have been inside yourself. How about that? How about that for a message? Everyone has been inside of you except you. Everyone has been inside of you except you. Metaphorically speaking and literally speaking, with my big face up in your screen. Yes, take that in. Take it in. Take it in. Yes. And because you have everyone and their mama up inside of you, all up in your mind, all up in your heart, all up in your body, physically and spiritually and energetically, that they have evicted you out of your own self. Hello? Hello? You've been evicted. I just got goosebumps out of that one. Lord Black Jesus. I just got goosebumps from that one. Everyone else has been up inside of you that you've been evicted out of your own body. You've been evicted out of your own mind. You've been evicted out of your own heart. You've been evicted out of your own emotions. You've been evicted out of your own consciousness. Out of your own consciousness. Which is why you don't know who the hell you are. Okay? Which is why you don't know who the hell you are. And because you don't know who you are, everyone else gets to tell you who you are. Everyone else gets to dictate over your life. Everyone else gets to tell you what you need to do. Everyone else gets to command over your life. Everyone else takes up control of your life. Hello? That's That's why you're lost. That's why you're confused. That's why you don't know what to do. That's why you don't know whether to stay in this job or take the other one. That's why you don't know whether to stay in your city or move to a new place. That's why you don't know whether to go back to school or not. That's why you don't know whether you should go back to finish your degree. That's why you don't know whether you should love this person or love the other one. That's why you're confused between three different people. That's why you be having all these spiritual orgies that you be having all the goddamn time. Are you listening to me? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Yes, you'll be having a whole bunch of spiritual orgies. Why? Because each and every time we open ourselves up to other people, we have invited them into our spiritual energetic field. And because we have so many people all up in our energetic field, we have so many people all up in our own energetic field, we don't know what decisions to make. We don't know about even making good decisions. Because everyone is all up inside you. Everybody and their mama is all up inside you except yourself. You've been evicted out of your own body. You've been evicted out of your own mind. You've been evicted out of your own spirit. Did you hear me? What is Mika Dances saying up here that has everybody laughing? Let me go back. Somebody's distracted. Up here. Yep, you got that damn right. There's a whole bunch of people that are distracted. There's a whole bunch of people that are total distracted too as well. Total tracted. Off track. Off track. Okay? Which is why everyone is taking up space. Everyone is taking up space. Everyone is taking up space in your space. Everyone is taking up space in your space. Do you hear me? And there's nothing worse. There's absolutely nothing worse than to be, listen to this, and this is serious. There's nothing worse than to be evicted out of your own inner self. You've been evicted. That's why you are so inconsistent with yourself. That is a contributing factor as to why you are so all over the place. This is why you have such a hard time deciding on things. This is why you're always up in the air and confused and feeling doubtful and insecure. This is why you ask everyone for their opinion about you, about your life, about the first person that you just met that you're dating, about the house that you want to buy, about the job that you want to apply for. You're asking people with no vision about your vision. How does that work? How is it that people are asking other people that have no vision about their own vision? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? How is it that you're asking someone else that has no vision to have an opinion about your vision? This is why so many people end up forfeiting their visions. Oh, yeah. You forfeit your visions when you share your vision with someone else that has no vision, but you gave them your vision. You gave them your vision in hopes that they can give you some positive feedback, suggestion, or support into your vision. But all they did is they hijacked it. They hijacked that shit. They hijacked your vision. This is why we see other people that don't have the talent, but they're executing your vision. Hello? Is anyone here today? Is anyone here? Is anyone here? They have hijacked your vision. You have to stop allowing people to hijack your vision. You have to stop allowing. They didn't steal it. See, some of you come into readings trying to convince me. So you can't convince me because it ain't about what I think. It's about what Spirit says. That's about what Spirit says. But you're not convincing Spirit with your rhetoric. You're not convincing Spirit with the rhetoric. Oh, this person stole this from me. This person stole that. Nobody stole shit from you. You gave them too much room to hijack your vision. You gave them too much room in your life, in your home, in your relationship. Which is why now they wake up sleeping with who used to be your man. Which is why they wake up where you woke up. Which is why they know how your bed smells. Because you were at work. You were at work while she was, in a with your man. She wasn't your friend. Just as much as he wasn't your man either. Oh, we ain't gonna go. Oh, yeah, you want to go there? You want to go there? He wasn't your man. You just didn't know it. He was never your man. Just like she was never your friend. But you open your door. You open your door to them. You open your door because you didn't know yourself. That is the dangers of not knowing who we are. When we don't know who we are. Oh, are you ready for this? When we don't know who we are, okay, then we don't know how to set boundaries. We have no boundaries. When we have no boundaries, we have all sorts of people coming in and out of our life. When we have all sorts of people coming in and out of our life, they get to tell us who we are, who we need to be, how we should act, what we should do, what we shouldn't do, how we need to be in certain places. But we've never been able to show up for ourselves. Do you hear me? This is for all the junkies out there. The junkies that be hopping, if we're talking about our Afro-Cuban spiritual faiths and practices, that's why you end up hopping from house to house. You end up hopping from house to house, end up looking for truth in all the false places because you're walking in your own falsehood. Because you don't know yourself. You have no boundaries. You have not been able to introspect. You have not been able to marry yourself. You have not been able to fall in love with you. You have not been able to learn how to like yourself. You have not been able to feel comfortable in your own skin. That's why you be hopping from house to house, dealing with all kind of sort of fucked ups. You gotta come back home, baby. You gotta come back home. Spirit is asking you to come back home. Spirit is asking you to come back home, back into your body, back into your own real mind, higher mind, back into your real higher energetic vibration, back into your own physical body. Come back home, back into your real balanced heart. Come back home. Because there's no one home. That's why everyone that comes into your life is running amok in your own home. That's why your own children are running amok in your own home. Do you hear me? Are you picking up what Spirit is laying down? Are you picking up what Spirit is laying down? Are you picking up what Spirit is laying down? And you know what's the bigger problem to this? Or the bigger challenge for a lot of you all? Is that we're not just talking about strangers. We're not just talking about, a friend that you just met 6 months ago. We're not just talking about the person you started dating 8 months ago. We're not just talking about your boss or your coworker. We're talking about your mama, your daddy, your sister, your son, your brother, your sibling. We're talking about the people whose blood runs through your own veins, which is why it's so difficult for you to break free. Which is why it's so difficult for you to reach your own autonomy. Which is why it's so difficult for you to be able to, really, really, really take control over your life. That's why it's so difficult. That's why it seems to be so difficult. Okay? That's why it seems so difficult for you. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Come back home, Spirit says. So how do we tie this back to what I asked you to write and what I asked you to say? So what they think about you? So what what he says about you. So what they're commenting about you. So what? Because the truth of the matter is, if we're going now to metaphysical laws, metaphysical teachings, metaphysical spirituality, guess what? What they're saying about you, you're not going to like what I'm about to lay in your heart. You're not going to like it. Your ego's going to reject it. Your inner child's going to want to throw a tantrum. It's going to provoke you to want to log out. Listen, don't be mad at the messenger. Don't kill the messenger here. But the truth of the matter is that whatever they say about you and think about you is what you think about yourself. That's why it pisses you off. Because it keeps on putting that finger inside that achy spot within you. They're saying you're a nobody, and it hurts you that they're saying you're a nobody because you feel like a nobody. Deep down inside, in places you don't want to talk about, deep down inside, in places you don't want to talk about, you feel exactly the way they talk about you. They say you are ugly, and it hurts you that someone that you love mistreats you and says that you're ugly, but that's because deep down inside you think you're ugly. You don't see yourself as beautiful. You don't see yourself as beautiful because your cup is empty. Your cup is not full. Do you hear me? You hear me? You know why it pisses you off? When you hear commentary about you, when they say that you think you're all that, oh, she thinks she's all that, she thinks she's all so full of herself, because the reality is that you are full of yourself, and guess what? It's okay. It's okay to know that you're good. It's okay to know that you're good at what you do. It's okay to know that you possess the talent that others wish they can steal from you. Do you hear me? So all they could do, since they can't steal it per se, they can't steal your talent, that all they can do is pick at it. They continuously pick at it. They continuously pick at your talent in hopes that you release yourself from your talent. In hopes that you wake up and you say, you know what, I like ballet, but I ain't gonna dance anymore because, you know, all these people are dancing ballet. I don't need to dance ballet. I don't need to learn this instrument. I don't need to be a real estate agent. There are too many real estate agents out there. I don't need to be a nurse. There are too many nurses out there. Because they have been able to disempower you and discourage you from the same blessings that the divine source of your understanding has inserted, has implanted in you. You have forfeited. You have lowered your head so low that you have allowed your crown to fall. Do you hear me? Are you picking up what Spirit is laying down? That's why there's someone else walking around with your talents. That's why there's someone else with the key to the house that you wanted to buy. But you told too many of your hating fucking siblings. You heard what I said. I said what I said. I ain't taking it back and I'm not apologizing. You told too many of your hating, evil, obnoxious, self-centered fucking siblings. Because you are hated on by your own blood sibling. You heard me. You heard me. You heard me. You all came out of the same uterus, but you all don't have the same heart. I wish I had a bell so I can read a bell here, because that was a bell moment. You all came out of the same uterus, but you all don't possess the same heart. So you have to stop placing your sibling at your level. You all came out of the same womb, but you had two different umbilical cords. Two different umbilical cords. Your umbilical cord came with a different kind of blessing that your sibling's umbilical cord did not possess. But you want to make your sibling your equal, and your sibling is not your equal. It's the same blood, but it ain't the same prototype. Stop trying to convince your sibling to love you the way you want to be loved. Because your sibling might have not been born with the ability to love you the way you want him or her to love you. Do you hear me? And it only hurts you because we've been conditioned. We've been programmed to believe and think that because we came from the same womb, that we're supposed to eat together, work up together, do together, grow together, love together. No, we're not always supposed to. Because you don't even share the same motherfucking fingerprints. What makes you think you're all supposed to have the same equal, lovely, ducky life? I don't know who that message was for, but if the shoe fits, wear it. If the shoe fits, wear it. Sometimes your mother's only job was to give birth to you, but you want to convince her to love you the way you want her to love you. What if? Ooh, I know this is going to hurt your feelings. But trust me, I'm not in the job of hurting feelings. I'm in the job of bringing clarity, awareness. What if it was never written in the books? What if it was never written in the books for your mama to love you the way you think you want her to love you? What if it wasn't written in the books for you? But because you're comparing your story to the kids you went to school with, whose mama always showed up at the soccer games, whose mama was part of the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts club and telling them, some more cookies that I love so much. Because you saw your classmates, daddy show up at the football games. Because you saw your mama give your other sibling more love than you. Because even though you came from the same womb, she shows more love to your sibling than you. Because maybe, perhaps in your particular case, I don't know who this message is for, perhaps she loves your sibling more than you because she was more in love with your father than she was with your sibling's father. See, your sibling's father, oh my God, spirit is channeling. I don't know who it's for, and it ain't my business. I don't know who it's for, and it ain't my business. But spirit is saying, what you fail to understand and see is that even though your mama shows more love to your sibling, the truth of the matter is that your sibling's father, since you all are not from the same daddy, your sibling's father is not the one she was in love with. Your sibling's father is the one that provided some level of comfort, whether it was financial comfort, or it's the one that she ended up settling for because she couldn't have the one she really wanted to have. And your attitude, your voice, your physique, your vibration, whatever it is, or all of the above, is a repeated reminder of the man that she was really in love with. And she can't deal with it. She can deal with you because it reminds her of who she couldn't keep. She couldn't keep him even if she opened her legs. She couldn't keep him even if she allowed him to beat her. She couldn't keep him even if she cooked for him every night. She couldn't keep him even if she surrendered all of her authenticity.
Hello, my lovely soul family. This is Spiritual Dr. Afi. I'm interrupting this very powerful download so that I can share with you very briefly about the upcoming Shadow Work Retreat. It'll be in September. All the information you need to know about it is below in the description box. It's an experience that you don't want to miss. Trust me when I say it is an experience you do not want to miss. Shadow work is so important for our life. It's so important in how we are in relationship with our loved ones. It's so important towards the legacy we will leave behind on this earth for our children, community. It is important for your overall well-being, growth, and evolution. So at least give yourself the opportunity to look into it, read about it, get informed about it, and then decide if you want to attend. I assure you, you do not want to miss this year's Shadow Work Retreat here in Southern California. All the information is in the link in the description box. Now, let's get back to this powerful download.
Surrender all of her authenticity. She couldn't keep him. She couldn't keep him. She couldn't keep him. She couldn't keep him. She couldn't keep him, and she doesn't know how to keep you. She couldn't keep him, and she does not know how to keep you. Are you picking up what Spirit is laying down? So some of you need to train your inner child to appreciate her for bringing you into this world and accept her for who she is and claim yourself back and stop asking for what she's not able to give. Do you hear me? And it starts by you learning how to love yourself. But because you did not have a healthy example of what it is to love yourself, this is why there is such a concept of reparenting. You have to give yourself permission to reparent yourself so that you can start to love on you the way you should have been loved, baby. Love on you the way you should have been loved. I have to love on me the way I should have been loved so that I can understand what kind of love I deserve, so that I don't make the repeated mistake of accepting a love that's less than what I know I deserve for me. Did you hear that? Are you picking up what Spirit is laying down? Do you hear me? This is why it's important. If I learn how to love me, I will then get to identify when the love that you are showing me is not good for me. When the love that you are showing me is beneath me. When the love that you are showing me does not come close to the love I know I deserve. When the love that you are showing me is a trauma bond kind of love. When the love that you are showing me is a controlling kind of love. When the love that you are showing me is an emotionally abusive kind of love. When the love that you are showing me is a conditional kind of love. When the love that you are showing me is a self-serving love. Hello? Hello? Anyone there? Are you picking up what Spirit is laying down? We ain't here to play. We ain't here to play. We ain't here to play. I've said this 1,000 times in all the years that I've been on social media. I've said this 1,000 times. It is equally unfair for you to ask someone to give you a love that they're not able to give to you, the same way as it's unfair for me to ask you for $5,000 if you don't have it in your account to loan it to me. Equally the same. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? It's important to understand this. It's important to understand. It is important to understand when you have arrived to a place, to a home, to a relationship, to a religious house, or a spiritual house, by way of your trauma. Your trauma took you there. Your lack of self-love took you there. Your healing energy didn't take you there. Ooh, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Your healing energy didn't take it there. There are places that we go to spiritually, energetically, vibrationally, religiously for true healing. And my healing pulls and gravitates towards that place of healing. But if my place of trauma, my unhealed traumas, my unaddressed trauma, manifested that other abusive place that re-traumatizes me the same way mama did. Re-traumatizes me the same way daddy did. Re-traumatizes me the same way I've been traumatized in my past. Do you hear me? Because your trauma took you there. Do you hear me? Your lack of self-identity took you there. It took you there. That's why you allow yourself to fall in love with your preacher, even though you know he's married. Hello? Oh, we're not going to talk about that? Okay. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? My. You have to be able to fill up your tank. Fill up your tank, baby. Fill up your tank. You gotta fill your cup. You gotta fill your cup. You gotta fill up your cup so that other people don't fill up your cup with their poison. So that other people don't fill up your cup with their hidden suicidal thoughts. So that other people don't fill up your cup with their scarcity mentality. Come on. So that other people don't fill up your cup with their addictive tendencies. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? That's why we gotta be careful who we let. If we're talking about spirituality and energy, whether we're talking about Oricha, Afro-Cuban Lukumi tradition, whether we're talking about any Afro-Cuban path, whether we're talking about any ATRs, or whether we're talking any spiritual path, for that matter. We got to be cautious of who we allow to touch our head. Got to be cautious. Because every prayer don't serve a miracle. Okay? Every prayer don't serve a blessing. Spirit is laying a whole lot of gems here tonight. I hope you're picking up what Spirit is laying down. Every prayer don't birth miracles. Every prayer don't birth blessings. There are prayers that birth curses. There are prayers that birth attachments. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Okay? You think they're praying over you? Ay, 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 ah. But in reality, the words are not the prayer. See, that's a whole class. And I'm not going to go there right now. That's a whole class. The words that comes out, if you understand any kind of energetic and spiritual vibration, is not just exclusive to Oricha faith. It's not just exclusive to Palomayombe or Spiritismo or heal. This is through any kind of healing. Whether it's Reiki, whether it's laying hands, whether it's the Bible and the Psalms in the Bible, whether it's Oricha, Moyubas, Orikis, prayers. Listen. The Ashe is not in the words. The words do carry a vibration. Okay? The words, óiganme bien, las palabras cargan una vibración. The words carry a vibration. But who the words are coming out of carries another kind of vibration that can either be a blessing or a curse. So even though they could be saying, if the person that's speaking the words, are you all picking up? I'm laying down. That's why you can have a head blessing, a head rogation, you know, walk out of there feeling like somebody just hit you with a damn fucking hammer over your head. The Ashe comes from the heart. The Ashe, the power, comes from the heart. And some people that are speaking the right words have a dark heart, have a poisoned heart, have a broken heart, has a cursed heart. Come on. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. She can speak the words. Your madrina can speak the words. Oh, but if she's in love with your husband. Your madrina can speak the words. Your godmother can speak the words. But if she's in love with your husband, if she's in love with your husband, she's going to implant doubt in you. She's going to implant doubts in you. She's going to contaminate what was supposed to be blessed. Especially if what's coming out of her mouth, okay, that seems to be wise words, are the same so-called wise words that used to come out of your grandmother's mouth. Like, all men are dogs, all men are this, you can trust them, you can this. Oh! That's what I'm telling you. It's not about the words that come out of the mouth. It's about the person that's speaking the words. It's about the person that's speaking the words. Because your madrina can speak the words beautifully out of the mouth. But if she's in love with your husband, baby, oh, your padrino can be very knowledgeable when he throws that école. Huh? Oh, my padrino is great. My padrino, oh, your babalao padrino, whoever your padrino is, oh, he's great. Oh, but if he's looking at your wife's ass, we're going to go there. If he's looking at your wife's ass, okay, he's going to make sure that each and every time you have that consultation, something always comes up that implants a negative seed inside you for you to doubt your wife, for you to want to possess your wife, for you to want to control your wife. Come on now. Come on now. Okay? Because at the end of the day, as he's throwing his accolade, he wants to throw his own accolade in her. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? I've seen it. I ain't heard it. I seen it. I've seen it. Just saying. Just saying. And I took that as an example because these are real life examples. But this fits in every other areas of a person's life. Okay? This could be your best friend. This could be your own sibling. This could be your preacher. Okay? Come on now. And a lot of you on here, you don't have to admit it publicly, but a lot of you recognize this because this is your story. If not, Spirit wouldn't be speaking about it so powerfully. This is your story, or this is your mama's story, right? Right? This is your grandma's story, right? Your grandmother, you know, had a husband who was your grandfather, who was probably a reputable preacher behind the pulpit, okay? But he was also the same one that was looking under your skirt, and you're his granddaughter. Okay? That goes to you. That goes to you who's on here, whoever you are. Okay. Whose uncle was someone loved by the family and someone that was loved by everyone at work. But this is the same uncle that used to walk into your room in the middle of the night. This is the same uncle that used to accidentally find himself in the bathroom wanting to pee, knowing that you were in there taking a shower. Come on now. 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 And because the spirit of trust, listen to the words I'm about to lay in your heart. Whether it's those examples or whichever other personal experience you have in your life. Because the spirit of trust has been murdered in your life. The spirit of trust has been murdered in your life. That's why you don't know how to trust yourself. That's why you don't know how to trust opportunities. That's why you don't know how to trust blessings when they do arrive. That's why you don't know how to trust good people when they do arrive. Because the spirit of trust was murdered in your life from an early age. Or it was murdered in your life when you were a teenager. Exactly, Mika dances. Do you hear me? Do you hear what Spirit is laying down? Spirit has laid down a whole bunch of bombs here. Okay? It is important to understand that we have to step up. And the Divine and Spirit is calling us to step up. The Divine and Spirit is calling us to do better. The Divine and Spirit is calling us to divorce the story that keeps the pain alive, the story that keeps us in a position of re-victimizing ourselves, the story that keeps the pain alive. You know why? Oh, yeah. Spirit is taking me in too many directions tonight. Because oftentimes, sadly said, we keep the pain alive. Unintentionally, because it's not intentional. No one wants to wake up to pain every day. But we keep the pain alive because it's the only way we've built an identity. We've built an identity through the pain, through the trauma, through the whole horrific history. We know no other identity other than the one we have identified with by way of trauma, of pain. So we continue to re-victimize ourselves. We keep playing this role of victimhood because it's the only identity we have. And spiritual healing, inner child healing, spiritual work, shadow work, puts us in a position to address this in a healthy way so we can cut that cord. So we learn how to cut that cord so we stop identifying ourselves repeatedly through the pain. Do you hear me? It's important to stop identifying ourselves through the pain. And because for as long as you keep identifying yourself through the pain, you will keep manifesting experiences that are either exactly the same or worse than what you have already endured. It's a magnet. You are the magnet. So what are you magnifying into your life? What are you drawing into your life? Are you picking up what Spirit is laying down? Do you hear me? No one needs to re-traumatize you because you are re-traumatizing yourself. Do you hear me? So what they think? So what they say? So what they do? That's our word. That's our phrase for tonight. So what? Right in the chat. So what? You were upset and pissed off, about to go berserk last week over something that someone said about you, your mama, your daddy, your sibling, your coworker, your boss, your friend, whoever it was. And Spirit is saying, so what? Spirit is asking you, I'm more concerned about what you think about you, what you feel about you. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? If whatever he or she said pissed you off so much, it's because you don't know yourself. And because you don't know yourself, someone else gets to tell you who you are. Do you hear me? So what would they say? What do you say? What do you say about you? What do you think about you? What do you believe about you? Tell me what that is, and I'll tell you who you will be. Tell me what that is, and I'll tell you how far you will get. Tell me what that is, and I'll tell you how high you will grow. And then I must say, and then you think you don't need shadow work. Baby, please. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. As I shuffle here, I'm going to pick our oracle card for the night. You know what shadow work also does? For those of you that are still trying to understand the significance of shadow work, you know what shadow work also does? At least I can only speak for the shadow works that I facilitate. It supports in strengthening our inner spirit. It supports in strengthening our weakened inner spirit. Our inner spirit has been weakened by way of our trauma, circumstances, loss, abandonment, fears, pain, the chaos in our life, the inconsistencies in our life, the conditioning in our life, the brainwashing in our life. This shadow work helps you to strengthen your weakened inner spirit. If we as humans have a weakened inner spirit, listen to the words I'm about to lay in your heart. If we as humans go about life with a weakened inner spirit, it's equivalent to having a weakened immune system. Is equivalent to going about life having a weakened immune system. Any nurses, any doctors, any medical doctors in the house right now? What happens to a person that goes about with a weakened immune system? They're what? Oh, this is so good. This is so much better than I'm able to deliver. They are always overexposed to everything out there. A weakened immune system exposes you to all sorts of viruses. When you have a weakened spiritual system, when you have a weakened inner spirit, you are exposed to all the emotional, mental, energetic, and spiritual viruses that are out there. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Sign up for the shadow work retreat. Okay? Stop resisting. Stop rejecting. Stop thinking that you don't need it. You know what makes you think you don't need it? Your low vibrations are convincing you that you don't need it. Your low vibrations, your inherited beliefs, your traumas, your fears are convincing you that you don't need it. The Raven. Free myself from the parasitic thoughts and patterns, Gypsy Love says. Yes. Walking Dead. Yes. Yes. Shadow work helped me release, helped me identify the painful parts of me, and gave me a choice to choose better. Thank you for sharing, Gypsy Love. And she's been through it twice with me. We got the Raven tonight. The Raven. And it says, humans underestimate ravens. They are cunning and intelligent creatures who use tools to get to what they want. It's no wonder most mythology refers to them as psychopomps. A psychopomp is a guide who leads the deceased to their resting place. Ravens have been heralds of the dying for as long as civilization can recall. If Raven has come to you today, it's time to get crafty. Use your intelligence to make a vital shift happen. Honor those who live in memory. Set up an altar and pay respect to the dead, to your deceased ancestors or whatever. Meanings. It's time to get crafty with the situation. Honor yourself. Honor your ancestors. It's time to get crafty with the situation, whatever situation you got going on in your life. Honor yourself. Honor your ancestors. The Raven. Alex says, the Raven came to visit me at home this morning. Then this is talking to you. Don't act like this ain't for you. Okay? Don't act like it ain't for you. Why are you not signed up for the shadow work retreat? You know you need it. Come on now. Come on now, people. Let's stop making up excuses. I don't have time. I don't have the money. I don't have this. Well, there's a will. There's a way. We can make this happen. We can work. We can make this happen. We can make this happen. You know what? You know why you don't have support? Because you don't know how to ask. You don't know how to ask because you're too prideful. You're too prideful, and that's why you don't grow. And because you're too prideful, you're suffering alone. You're suffering by yourself. It is time to build community. It is time to come together. It is time to stand in solidarity first with yourself and learn how to be in solidarity with communities or people that actually do give a shit about you and do care about you. Because let me tell you something, I'm going to lay it right now. With the kind of times that are coming ahead, we better know who the hell we are. We better know what we really want. We better know what we really deserve. We better know ourselves outside and free from the inner child pain, the traumatic history, the chaotic upbringing, the issues with your ex, all those things, and much more. We better know ourselves. We better know ourselves. We better know ourselves. Okay? Click the link in my bio. Don't be lazy. Some of you haven't even bothered. Well, I don't know. I don't think I can go. Well, you haven't even bothered looking at the shadow work retreat. You haven't read about it. I've explained every possible detail that I can about it. You haven't even informed yourself about it. Okay? So you keep nurturing your toxic cycles. Chris is in the house, my beloved Chris. I need everybody to let me tell you.